Now, personally, I don't know about you, but doing shell challenges are always a fun way to experiment with my style, whether it's roofing, landscaping, interior design, exterior design, the list goes on and on and on. But personally, I never get to participate in other people's shell challenges like I would hope to. And so today I am finally doing my Twitch mod and friend, Dabney Mallory's shell challenge that she did a couple months ago. And I'm finally, getting around to editing the video and showing you all what I did. And so today I am doing a multi-generational home in Newcrest. That's 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom for a grandma and their granddaughter. And personally, this story is gonna get good that I'm gonna tell you today. Now, personally, when I do shell challenges, I always say do the roofing first. That way you can knock it out of the park and forget about it and then do everything else secondary, because roofing is probably the most daunting thing to do in any game that has roofing capabilities, just because it's the shape of the shell and you gotta figure out, what pieces of roof you wanna use and the whole general logistics of everything. But for this particular shell challenge, me and my friend Dab, who did the shell challenge for their community, we have a very similar building style. So I found it a lot easier for me to furnish and get an idea. And also I knew what location I wanted to put it in. And it's built in Newcrest on a 30 by 20 lot, and it has 2 bedrooms and a shared bathroom. And it's very small on the inside, and it could have been a tiny home, but I felt like me adding more things would have made it even bigger. So I decided against that. But personally, I really had so much fun doing this just because, one, shell challenges are always a fun way to experiment and try new things, but also when I get to participate in other people's shell challenges, they're always fun because you just don't know what the shell is going to look like until they upload to the gallery. And if you want to check out my friend Dabney's Twitch channel, I will link it down below in the description, just because I think you all would love to watch a lovely Twitch stream around The Sims and storytelling and challenges. They have really, really great content that I know you definitely will love. And if you know, you know. But nonetheless, I do have a story for this lovely build like I always do for all of my builds. And it consists of 2 Sims, an elder and a teenager, and a cat. Now, the 2 Sims I have is Jocelyn. Now, the 2 Sims that I have is Jocelyn Hope Fairchild and Tegan Esther Fairchild. Now, Jocelyn is the grandmother and Tegan is a teenager, and their lovely cat is named Harper, who is an actual adult kitten, or cat, I guess. But nonetheless, these 2 Sims have a very supportive family dynamic where they wanted to always be there for each other because Tegan's parents are both in the military and they were shipped off to Strangerville to fight the mother for at least the next 3 years. And so what they did is that they shipped Tegan off to their grandmother's house in Newcrest to kind of live for the next 3 years through high school. Now, Tegan has a very particular, mindset of living where I will do anything and everything to my heart desire to get where I want to be. And what's really cool about Jocelyn, the grandma, is that she is actually a university professor at Foxbury Institute and kind of goes around in the idea of computer science, animals, people, medical type of things. But with Tegan, they actually are a freshman about to go to their sophomore year of high school, and they go to Newcrest High School, basically, or Newcrest Community School. And they have 3 awards in computer science, chess, and also cheerleading. And they want to go and major in Fosbury Institute in computer science because that's what their grandma did, that's what their parents did, and they just love the fascination of science and technology and computers, and it just seems very fitting for them. And I want to be able to kind of design a home based around that. And so each of their rooms have a very particular style just because I wanted to fit Jocelyn's theme of an old, nice university professor mindset, but also adding in a teenager mindset. Now, I used a lot of the stuff from almost every other pack that I had. I used a lot of stuff from Cottage Living, High School Years, Base Game, the Everyday Clutter Kits, a few other ones too. I think also Discovery University as well. But when I built this, when I did the shell challenge for Dabney, we did not have Growing Together and we did not have Infants. And I think we didn't have something else that I cannot remember. We probably didn't have another kit. Either way, I don't remember. I just know we didn't have Growing Together or Infants when I built this, and I'm kind of glad that I did, because if I did, the whole house would have been completely different. But I might build another multi-generational house that has another story, but based in the New World San Sequoia. just because it just seems very fitting. And with Jocelyn, I think San Sequoia is another location that they want to move to eventually in the future. And Jocelyn and Tegan actually live in the world where I play my current household. And if you didn't see my previous video that I posted a while ago about my sim Aspen O'Connor, Jocelyn and Tegan live in that same world. And I want to build them a house in that world so the world of Newcrest looks filled up and nice and neat. Now, with Jocelyn, who she is, how the fact that she's a university professor, she's in her elder stage, not really retired. She's been married before, and the husband died a long time ago, back in like the 80s, from like, Strangerville, because things in Strangerville be strangin', and they are not pretty. If you know, you know. But nonetheless, Jocelyn had a husband. They loved each other for like 40 years. He died in the 80s, and now Jocelyn's a university professor living in Newcrest. And I find with Jocelyn being who she is, she loves plants, she loves gardening, she loves being able to like experiment with like her exterior type of design of plants. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I've always kind of seen where Jocelyn was like helping my sim Aspen of starting a gardening club. And I don't know if you all heard, but we're getting 2 new kits tomorrow. One is called the Basement Treasure Kit, and the other one is called Greenhouse Haven Kit. And it's so fitting because I did not know a single thing about new kids. I don't know anything. They don't tell me anything, which is great because if they did, I probably would have been like, please don't tell me. But I'm kind of glad that we're getting a greenhouse kit because it's so fitting for Aspen and Jocelyn, because I needed like some type of a greenhouse like idea. Like I know we can make them with the glass roofs that we have in base game and all the other like plant related things from other packs, but a dedicated like greenhouse, kit with greenhouse items is perfect. Most of it probably won't be functional for the kit, which is totally fine. I don't really care. I just like want to focus more on like the planting, gardening aspect of it all. But I like the idea that we're getting a greenhouse kit. I love plants. I have 5 plants in my living room. I might buy more because I'm a plant parent. I don't have any kids IRL. So my children are my plants, and I'm a plant parent of 5 of green pothos, or yeah, pothos plants. Green pothos plants? No, golden pothos? Yeah, I'm a parent of 5 golden pothos plants, and they're all thriving, doing great, lovely time. I water them pretty much every other week. And I have to say, plants are the future. Plants help the environment. Plants just do everything for everyone. Breathing, oxygen, trees, life, everything. If you know, you know. But also, let me know in the comments below. If you have any plants, what kind of plants do you have? And I want to see photos if you're in my Discord server. If you're not, link down below. But nonetheless, I had super fun building this like little home for Jocelyn and Tegan. And before Tegan came over like to live with Jocelyn, after like many years of like, living with her parents, I think honestly, I didn't think how small the house was going to be. Cause like I was building this on stream like a couple months ago thinking, how am I going to fit 2 Sims, a cat, and also everything that they need to like live and thrive. So I managed to make do. And I've never really had like a sim like have a shared bathroom like in this way of 2 different age stages, but it kind of worked out well because Jocelyn's always at work at Foxbury Institute, and then Tegan's always usually here at the house like working on other things. And Tegan and Harper's the cat, and Harper came with Tegan from their old home from like they used to live in San Myshuno in like a very nice 2-story apartment. And I believe the 2-story apartments in San Myshuno are in the fashion district. And I've never had a sim live there until like Tegan and her parents. And I'm thinking of actually creating Tegan and Jocelyn and Harper and the parents and like putting them like in like some type of like idea, because I have a Newcrest save file that I'm making, and I want to like make a lot of Sims that don't really have custom content in it. And even though that this house in particular uses a lot of hacks and my Newcrest save only uses base game, I'm thinking of making like a base game version of Jocelyn and Tegan and utilizing that in that way just so y'all can have the Sims. But then I also might do my version of like giving them more outfits and other things from other packs for this particular save file to see what I can do. And honestly, at the end of the day, I think doing shell challenges for me going forward, I want to participate in more and like kind of take a break from like doing my own, because I find when I do my own, it's always like the same type of shell idea and it's never like really different. So I think if I do others, I'm gonna like get new ideas and like experiment with like my own shells in the future. And I hope that Dab gets like another shell challenge, because even though this is like Dab's first shell, I want to try and do another one and see what it can come up with another idea, but with growing together and infants and like all the other packs that we're going to be getting in the future. Like I have a very like interesting mindset of like building, of only building for family. I never really do like single sim homes that much, or I don't really do like a lot of modern housings just because they're a little bit scary and like I don't really know. But I really want to try and build like a modern styled home or like do a tiny home for a single sim, because with the basement treasure kit, it's gonna be really, really good. Like I already have like an idea in my head of like what I want to do for the basement kit and kind of like replicate like an IRL house, but from a TV show, but with the basement. Because there is a particular TV show that I watch quite frequently whenever they post a new episode. It's called Bob's Burgers. And Bob's Burgers is like my favorite show to watch all the time. I've seen every single episode. Louise, love her. Jean, Tina, love them. Tina's my spirit animal combined with Louise. Like Louise and Tina are me. I'm an introvert, quiet, like crazy person, and it's like all over the place in this brain. But I think honestly, I want to build like the Bob's Burgers like house in The Sims 4, because now we have dine out, we'll have the basement treasure kit, we'll have all these like other really cool things. So I'm really gonna experiment with that and see what I can do with like a little diner, livable home type of idea. And I think I want to put it in this save file. That way Jocelyn, Tegan, and Aspen and Winston all could have friends. Like I'm literally just building so much for like my little offline playthrough of The Sims 4. And it's been so much fun. Like I've been having so much fun building lately and so much fun like playing the game that all of my ideas like finally coming to life. And I'm enjoying The Sims 4 again after so long of like not really playing it the way I want to play it, I guess. Because usually I only play The Sims 4 on stream and I sometimes do like one-off type of things here on YouTube. But like I never got to play the game for like myself without no one watching. And I'm just like very, 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 very excited to play more of Aspen O'Connor's like little life. And I might wait until I get the new greenhouse kit to build like a proper greenhouse area in my little save file for Aspen and Jocelyn to kind of hang out more. And I'm trying to think of a club idea for Aspen and Jocelyn's group. Now, Jocelyn is not really, the head, club leader. It's mainly Aspen who's like the club leader. But I'm trying to think of their name. Probably like the Green Gardeners or the Greenhouse Gardeners, or like the stylish florist, the stylish florist group. I don't know. If you have any ideas for like a group name that relate around gardening and like flowers, let me know in the comments below. I might use it and then do an update video at some point when I'm ready to like show off what I've done. Just because I think like honestly, I just love like trying new things. The club system from Get Together and like the whole like city living vibe with this whole like social media and then Get Famous with the whole like celebrity track. I don't know. I'm just like having a lot of fun just like playing the game for once. And it's like opening up my eyes to like new ideas that I haven't thought before or like haven't really fully executed fully to like make a whole video out of. And I think I'm getting to the point where I might be like confident enough to like start doing more gameplay videos like I used to like ages ago. And it might come into fruition where it might be a full-on Let's Play, but not guaranteed. We'll just have to see. But I think what I'm gonna do is show you the house in real time. That way you can see what I've done and kind of get the full value of Jocelyn and Tegan's home. And honestly, I'm really, really proud of it. If you all want it, it's on the gallery under the gallery name SpringSims. But nonetheless, let's see what this house has to offer for Jocelyn and Tegan's home. So now that we're in the game, I can finally show you the house in real time, just because when building this house, I knew what I kind of wanted in a way for like a base story, but I didn't know like the full story. But when I tied in my sim Aspen O'Connor, who wanted to make, a gardening club and loves plants, and then Jocelyn, who also loves plants and wants to start a gardening club as well, it just seemed very fitting to utilize a lot of cottage living and a lot of debug and utilize a lot of landscaping to show that plants are their thing. Now, when it comes to debug, there's so much stuff in the game because every time we get a new pack or a base game update or just new things generally, there's always new stuff in debug. And I find it so helpful to make the build come to life a little bit more. So if you're not using debug, utilize it. It may be very scary and daunting because there's so much stuff, but trust me, it is super, super worth it to make your builds a little bit more personalized and less generic. But I wanted to make sure that I utilize a bunch of like produce from cottage living, like the pumpkin, the mushroom, and then the eggplant. That way we can utilize these at the fair and get them judged and see what prizes we get out of it, especially with like the ribbons, if we get first place, second place, or third place. But I wanted to utilize a bunch of like bikes. So we have like Jocelyn and Tegan's bikes over here. This is actually Tegan's old bike from the guy when they were like a teenager, when they first, lived in San Myshuno. And over here in the backyard, I really went ham with the landscaping. Like, I love landscaping more than anything. If you don't know my builds, landscaping is the first thing I usually do in all my builds before I get to the interior. So I wanted to use a lot of like landscaping, like lush green landscaping over here with some fireflies for like some added effect in live mode. The pergola from base game. Under here we have like the grill and the picnic table and the picnic basket. Of course, we have gardening boxes and a bee box, an easel, some knitting and some crocheting over here by the side of the house. And then, of course, since we do not have indoor laundry units, I wanted to utilize outdoor units of using the washer tub and the clothesline because Jocelyn's a little bit more, old school when it comes to like cleaning things. So I thought adding in a clothesline and a washer tub seemed very fitting, with a little bird feeder on the side. But as for the inside, I think honestly, this was like a lot more fun because I really got to bring, their personality to life a little bit more. So like over here, I wanted to make sure the entryway was like something Jocelyn had in a past life. That's why I added in the computer desk in the entryway when like you first walk in, use the computer with like the chess table that is Tegan's. And then of course, like a snack to go box from the past life of Tegan and her parents when they lived in San Myshuno. Of course, like the phone and the keys and a full-on cluttered like table near the window. Like there's so much stuff like glasses, shoe boxes, a tumbler, magazines, coins, everything. Nonetheless, either way, we have Tegan's bedroom over here, and as you can see, we have the chess trophy, computer programming trophy, and the cheerleading trophy. Now, these three were all from Tegan's freshman year of high school. They are now a sophomore, and they have a lot of things ahead of them, like what they want to do for school, and they want to go to school for computer science on a cheerleading scholarship and also a chess scholarship as well, if they can do that. But I think ultimately they just really love computers and technology and the whole idea of it all. And of course we have Harper's like little bed and scratching post, and of course their laundry. Now, Tegan and Jocelyn both share a bathroom together because there was no other room for a secondary bathroom, let alone a half bath. So I thought them just sharing a bathroom just seemed perfectly okay. And I don't do a lot of bathrooms that well, but I think I really did well on this one right here. And I'm kind of glad that I did. I used the bathroom, kit that we got a while back ago for this bathroom. Like I added in like the toothbrush and the skincare and the razor and the toothbrush set and like some other knick-knack patty wax. I think it's really cool that we can now shave like our legs and our arms and everything in the shower. So the razor just seemed like a personal item that Tegan and Jocelyn had for like years. But in here we have Jocelyn's bedroom. It's very old-timey, cottagecore idea. And this is actually Jocelyn's like inspiration. And this like poster painting right here is actually, I think her name is, yeah, Bernadette. Bernadette, I'm going to say Bernadette Peters, basically, is her inspiration as a higher up administrative type of person. And I felt the poster being in here would be a perfect idea for Jocelyn. And then we have like their TV and all the little other knickknacks and paddywhacks and their hamper. And then in here we have like their kitchen slash living room. Since this is a very smaller home, it just seemed like putting the living room, dining room, and kitchen would be in the same room, but on a smaller end. Like Jocelyn is one person. She did not need a dining room table. Her husband was dead back in the 80s, so she had to get rid of a few things. She added in an island with 2 bar stools, and then of course an upgraded TV, bookcase, stereo combo. And then of course the love seat, because Jocelyn is one person with a teenager, so we have to add in the family bulletin board to keep the curfews, the notes, the everything all in one place. And you know, honestly, I think this house is very fitting, and I'm kind of glad I did what I did. And I want to do it again in the future where I utilize other kits and other packs to see if I can like take that version of a family home, but in a different way. So I'm definitely thinking of building the Bob's Burgers house restaurant in The Sims 4 when we get the basement treasure kit, and see what I come up with. Because honestly, at the end of the day, it may look funky, but at least I did something different that is not a suburban home. But either way, as always, do let me know down in the comments below if you've ever built a multi-generational house in The Sims 4. If you have, let me know. If you haven't, why not do it now? But make sure you go check out my friend Dabney Mallory's Twitch channel. I will link it down below in the description for y'all to go follow her, because she's really, really cool and a good friend of mine. But nonetheless, I hope y'all enjoyed it, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!